Good morning from Biker Cowboy Garage. Biker Cowboy here. Been a lot of fun, a lot of experiences going on here since last week. I know last week we kind of went over Chubb's the race bike right here, kind of went over a little bit of the setup, what I got going on with that, went over some tools, a few things I was taking racing, kind of my safety gear. Racing went awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a blast. It was more than I had expected. It was different than I'd expected. I can't really explain it. You just got to get out there and go slide a Harley on some dirt, and it'll start to make sense to you. So anyways, had a great time at Salem Indoor Speedway over the weekend. The bike performed extremely well. Gearing was good. I ran in first gear the whole race. Just barely got the rev limiter a couple times on my best laps, so we're geared very close. It'll work for now until I learn more and become a little bit better of a rider. This thing sounded super cool. I can't say how badass it is to I ran the knobby class, so I'm with a bunch of dirt bikes at an indoor track, and I'm the only Harley with this awesome loud Danmoto pipe, and sounded so cool. It was just really fun. The only thing I'm going to work on this week to Chubbs is this foot peg. I put the spring clip in so it stays up, and I'm still getting used to dragging my foot and all that stuff, so I keep hitting the peg and getting it up, and I'm fighting for the peg. Laps don't take very long. It's a 10-lap race. Takes about 2 minutes to complete. So my leg got tired. I kept not putting it on the foot peg because it was kind of hard to reach, and my leg got tired. So anyways, I'm going to work on some kind of different peg situation there. That should make it a lot better. But all in all, went really well. My first practice lap was a little bit on the overwhelming side. There's some kind of fast bikes out there and stuff. Second practice lap was much better. First heat race went great. By the last 2 laps, I kind of picked up a few things and was starting to close the gap and gain on some people pretty good, so I made progress there, and ended up taking 4th in the heat race. And then my main, I ended up taking 3rd place in. I did pass somebody. I ran in 4th most of the race, so it felt great to get the first pass in. He kind of messed up, went just a little bit high, and I got underneath him, and away I went. So it was super fun. Just an amazing feeling coming out of the corner with the back end loose, front end hooked up, power sliding. Like it's just so cool. Everybody says it. Hooligan racing's a blast, and it really is. So projects for this week, like I said, I'm going to work on the foot peg. This is the original front end off of Chubb's. So my plan is to take this front end and make a backup front end. The triple trees are pretty beefy on the one that's on there, so I was worried I might get into some lock issues. I'm not anywhere near close enough to sliding that far yet, but with time and practice I'll get there. So I've kind of got it marked here. I need to machine these out a little bit. I'll cut these tabs for the front fender off. I'll probably leave the brake one in case, you know, this is a street tracker, so there'll be times when it'll have a front brake on it, I'd imagine. So anyways, I'm gonna work on that and have a quick change front end. Tools I brought with me worked great. I didn't bring a spanner wrench to adjust the rear shocks, but we made do. Did do a little rear shock adjustment. This stiff front end that's on here, the XR 1200 springs are stiff, but it worked great on this track. Thank you, Thor from CC Motor Coffee, for kind of taking me under your wing, giving me a few pointers, helping me out with kind of a starting place on tire pressure. We started there and adjusted just a little bit, and it worked real well. Yeah, just tons and tons of stuff. Kind of an overwhelming experience at first, but super worth it. Thank you to all my friends, family, my wonderful wife, everybody that came out. That was so rad. You guys made it worth it. You made it fun. Special thanks to Ben and Kara for hauling me down there and back. That was awesome with the PDX Dirtbag crew. Always want to thank Paradise Harley Davidson. I want to thank Pacific Motorcycle Transport, and Butch, you're a stud. Appreciate you helping me out, being my #1 pit man. You know I'm new to racing. Special thanks to Rusty at Northwest Power Sports and Shinko Tires, hooking me up as well. And everybody has pitched in. All of you, every one of you. I haven't forgot you. I just would be here all day if I mentioned you all by name. I want to do a kind of a tutorial on this bike here. I'll probably do that next week. This is my dad's first Harley. It's a 1998 Sportster Sport 1200cc. it was my first Harley, and he's ridden it all over the United States. I've ridden it all over the western United States. It gets jumped, wheelied, and ridden long distances. This bike has really been through quite the torture test. I'll go into this bike and kind of the setup and how it's evolved into what it is today. There's a lot of practical stuff behind it, like a little fairing. I didn't want that, but when you ride in the rain every day up here in the Pacific Northwest, that's huge. So anyways, that's for another day. We'll go into that. Biker Cowboy Garage, we just got this TV set up here thanks to a buddy for hooking me up with an old school DVD player down here and some cables, so now we can watch extreme sports here in Biker Cowboy Garage too. Kind of keep us pumped while we're out here in the winter months working on stuff. So thank you all for tuning in. Come back here next Monday. I will be here every Monday at Biker Cowboy Garage. Biker Cowboy here, just kind of showing you my life and what cool stuff we do. My dad's coming into town. He has always been my inspiration. Thank you, Big Dog Al. He should be here for my next race, the 17th. So he is going to be in Biker Cowboy Garage. He doesn't know that yet, but thank you in advance. He's just really my inspiration. He got me into riding dirt bikes as a young man. I grew up on the back of his old BMW, riding around the Blue Ridge Parkway and through the mountains camping. And he's always pushed me to follow my own path, but always be bettering myself and learning. And you know, when you're a kid, you don't really get that. You're like, yeah, I don't really want to learn. And now, as I grow up, I've learned so much. You know, this project's a great example. I learned a ton on it. I've learned a ton setting this bike up. I learned a ton setting this bike up. So anyways, the key to happiness is progress. Keep moving forward, people. We'll see you right back here next week. Biker Cowboy Garage. Have a great week, everybody.